I'm going to explain Elemental Storm and give a few tips. Things like which support gems to use, what types of storms are better, how to make a lot of storms. So with Elemental Storm, when you do a crit with an elemental spell, you will generate a storm. The storm has the type of damage that the crit had, and the storms have pretty decent damage. The hits are very fast, the AoE is pretty big, and the duration is decent, but we're going to boost all of that. First thing to know, when you do an elemental storm, by default you can only do one, because you see here you have a storm duration of 5 seconds, and the cooldown to generate the storms is 5 seconds, so you can only have one at a time because of this. But the first thing that you're going to want to do with for Elemental Storm is to get this here, Rain Dancer. I think it's a must for Elemental Storm. So Elemental Storm has 150% more cooldown recovery rate. If we get that, you will see that the cooldown now is 2 seconds, so I can generate a storm every 2 seconds, and each storm lasts 5 seconds. So now I can have 2 at a time. Next, you're going to want to get Persistence, the support gem, to increase the duration by 40%. If we get this, duration goes from 5 seconds to 7 seconds. Now I can get 3 at a time. I generate a storm every 2 seconds, and they last 7 seconds. So at second number 6, I have 3 storms. Then you want to get Ingenuity, which is a support gem on level 2. So this is going to decrease the cooldown. You can see the cooldown went from 2 to 1.5, so now I can have 4 storms at a time. Next, I suggest getting a Magnified Effect to just increase the storm radius, which is already pretty big, so that's going to be bigger storms. Now you get a lot of storms, and they are bigger. And if you want to get much more storms than this, you can go on the passive tree, and you will find that there is quite a few nodes that are of increased skill effect duration that will impact the duration of the storm. I suggest, if you want to do this, you will go for the nodes here on the upper left here. It is 40% skill effect duration, and you can go at the top here. You have another 45%, 10, 10 and 25. So it's an easy way. If you get both of those, you'll get a plus 85% duration on your storms, which means that they will last about 12 or 13 seconds, and you generate them each 1.5 seconds, so you can get a lot of storms. I have 3 points here, so I'll do it for some here. So let's increase by 40%. And you can see that now the storms last about 10 seconds. Now I'm going to show you what a storm spam looks like. So if we go here for lightning storms, for example, you can see I have 3 storms right now, and they cannot generate many of them at the exact same location. They need to be a little bit on the side of each other, but you can still generate many that overlap. If we go, for example, for ice, I'm going to show you the ice ones. Now the ice ones are very nice because they will add freeze. I find that I have a hard time generating shock and ignites with these storms, but for freeze it's very good. You can see here they're just standing there freezing. And if we go for fire, I'm going to do it for firestorms. We just bring the enemies in the storms. There we go. And now for the better elements to use to generate the storms and the better skills to use, I find that generally cold spells work better because they have a very high crit chance, base crit chance here, and you only generate storms when you do crits with the spells. So the order for the crits is cold and then lightning. Lightning is more around 9-10, cold is 12-13, and fire is more like 8-7, so fire is the lesser one. Also, I find that cold is better also because the storms do freeze on the enemies, while I don't see, when I try the storms for all the elements, I don't see ignites, I don't see chill, and I don't see shock. So, but I see freeze. And you can do this though with the lightning if you use Electrocute to instead of doing shock, you will do Electrocute on the enemies. That will work. I will show you with Electrocute. So we let the enemies here electrocute, and you can see here they get just electrocuted. So that could be good, and Electrocute has a longer duration than Freeze, so I think that is something that would work. The next important thing to generate a lot of storms is to use skills that do quick hits. So I think the very best skill is probably Eye of Winter, because it does a lot of projectiles, and has very high crit, and also does critical weakness on hit. So it's just a perfect skill to generate crits, a lot of crits. For the lightning, I think Ball Lightning is very good, so it hits very quickly, so you'll do a lot of crits here. And unfortunately for Fire, Incinerate does no crit. That would have been my pick, but otherwise probably Fireball, because you'll do a lot of projectiles and they all can crit, so it's an easy way to generate more crits with fire. Firestorm is very good too. I forget about Firestorm, but yeah, Firestorm, you get the skill, get the super gem to have 2 Firestorms at the same time, and there's going to be a lot of fire hits all over the screen. Nice way to do a lot of fire crits. That's it. Thanks for watching.